Hey there, everybody. My name is Jason Gold, and I'm back with another episode of Investor Insights. We're partway through earnings season, and I want to talk to you about the benefit of publishing your prepared remarks ahead of your earnings call, and why I think it's a really good idea with really no downside. So let's get into it. I think the only argument that I've heard against publishing prepared remarks is that it's going to reduce the live participation on the call. Now, I think that that's a very silly argument. The reality is, if you're important and you are quote unquote required reading for an industry, people will be on your call. People will pay attention. Publishing prepared remarks will not tell people that they shouldn't listen to your call. Also, 90% or more of the consumption of your call will ultimately happen down the road as people are reading transcripts. So what is the benefit of publishing your prepared remarks right at 4 o'clock Eastern time when you publish the press release? Well, it helps reduce traffic and stress for your investors and for your sell-side analysts. Let's talk about why. First, maybe your CEO or management team is from a foreign country. They might have a very thick accent. That might make it very difficult for the street to understand them. And if the street has a transcript that they can read along with while listening to you, that clears up any misunderstandings. There have been plenty of companies that I've worked with where the CEO was so difficult to understand that the street didn't actually know what the guy was saying. That made it very difficult to actually get the message across. They weren't getting the valuation that they deserve because the street didn't know what they did deserve. Publishing the prepared remarks would certainly help alleviate some of that. The bigger issue is that there's a lot of traffic on the day that you probably report. Unless you have a very strange reporting day, there's probably a half a dozen or more other companies reporting at the same time as you. And even if it's not exactly in your sector, you're reporting during earnings season. So maybe your sell-side analysts that follow you only have one or two other companies that are reporting at the same time. Or maybe they have 10 and they're jumping between them. But you are investors who are covering stocks outside of your sector, most surely do have other companies reporting around the same time as you. And so publishing those prepared remarks makes it easier for them to get the gist of what's on your mind. They can read your remarks between 4:05 and 4:15 p.m. and know exactly what's going to happen. Also, if you're on the sell side and you've got a whole bunch of other companies reporting at that time, you can read those prepared remarks, and by the time you actually get on the live call for Q&A, you know what just transpired, and you can ask very thoughtful questions as a sell-side person because you know what the beginning of the call was. That helps you, the company, that helps investors, that helps really everybody to have educated sell-side analysts asking thoughtful questions. The worst thing that you can have is a bunch of sell-side guys that were jumping between calls that didn't listen to the first part of the call that get on and ask super generic questions. That's not advancing the story to the street's benefit, and then that's not helping you as the company get the valuation that you deserve because no one's really paying attention. So you getting out there and saying, hey, I'm gonna raise my hand and empathize with you. You've got a lot going on. I've spent a lot of time crafting my prepared remarks. I'm going to put them out there for you now so that while all of this other stuff is going on during earnings season, at least you've heard from me. And if you can listen to my call, great. If you can only get on the Q&A, great. But at least you're going to know what's on my mind. And by the time we get to callbacks, you will be fully informed. I'm telling you, the number of times that I get on callbacks with sell-side analysts and they say, hey, listen, I had 8 other companies report tonight. I didn't get to listen to the call. I think my associate got it. I'll read the transcript later, but what do I need to know? That's not super valuable for you or for them. By publishing those remarks, they're informed and you're informed. And the reality is, depending on what the traffic is at night, it might take several hours or even until the next day for Bloomberg or Thomson to publish that transcript. You're doing them a favor. It costs you nothing, and there really is no downside to it. Also, one other comment in this, there are still companies that don't publish their guidance in the press release, and they wait to the earnings call to do that. Look, I think that's a huge mistake. That creates volatility in the aftermarket. It makes people listen to your call live, and I've just given you a whole bunch of reasons why I think you can publish it all in a transcript ahead of time to people. I advocate you put the guidance in the press release and then give color on it in your earnings call and provide that to people with the press release. Then there's no misunderstanding. And then the volatility that you see in the aftermarket begins to go away. And look, the volatility in the aftermarket really isn't anything more than a nuisance. But why create that nuisance? It only irritates people. More volatility leads to lower valuations over time. Help people do their job. Empathize with what they're doing. Give them those published remarks ahead of time. It's really that simple. This is a nearly costless thing that will be very well received by all of your constituents. That's it for today. My name is Jason Gold. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Investor Insights. I look forward to seeing you back here again next time.